Hello, I'm Mary-Louise Angoujard. I'm an executive trainer and coach, and what I mostly focus on is communication skills and the power of communication skills to help us achieve whatever we need to achieve. Now, I work in different industries and with different levels of seniority, and one problem that everybody shares, no matter what level they work at in an organization and no matter what job they do, unless they're locked in a cupboard away somewhere, is that they don't always know what makes a difference when they're in meetings as to how they come across, how well their messages land, and also the level of authority or positive energy that they're actually communicating with. So today I thought it would be helpful to give you some ideas that you can think about and you can employ in your meetings to make sure that you're coming across with the best positive impact that you can and the right level of authority for the situation. One of the things that will inevitably make a difference is our posture. So how we're standing in terms of our back position and also our shoulder positioning. So without thinking that you have to stand at military attention, but rather having relaxed shoulders but on an upright body. And this really helps in a lot of ways. So one of the ways is by the confidence it gives us, so that the thoughts that we're having are more confident, which actually affects our vocal impact, and it also affects the words that we choose and how well and fluidly we're able to articulate our ideas. The other thing is that it definitely affects how we're coming across to the other party. And if we're coming across with confidence and conviction, the other party knows it, and we become more credible and more believable in how we are getting across our messages, and whatever it is that we're saying will be taken more seriously. A word that's thrown about a lot these days is gravitas. And you can't have gravitas with poor posture, folded arms, lowered head position, no facial expression. We can cover that another day. But you see what I'm talking about, and if anything, if you do nothing else, then maybe look at how other people are positioning themselves on their chairs, how they're holding themselves or not in meetings, and see how they're coming across. Now, when you're actually listening, it's less important or impactful to have great posture. That's true. If you are listening to someone else, then you can either sit up or lean back. I would still recommend a straight back on the chair, but leaning more back, and that's absolutely fine. But when we're actually called upon to speak ourselves and deliver messages, it's a lot more effective to make that small change. Now, we're not talking about dramatic shifts here. We're talking about small changes in posture that will make a big difference for the reasons that I've mentioned.